All right, it's the game is the game. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, as you probably heard by now, Eric Bieniemy has accepted the offensive coordinator position for the Washington Commanders. Now, everybody's talked ad nauseum about how unfair it is that he has not had a coaching opportunity, and I would tend to
Jalen
agree with
Monroe,
them.
he
And
ain't
that
it.
horse, I think, has been beaten to death. So I won't touch on it too much. But I think this is a great opportunity for him being the offensive coordinator for the Commanders, and I'll explain to you why. So it's not the reason that everybody's thinking of. Stephen A. Smith said, "Hey, this is an opportunity to get out of the shadows of Andy Reid. He's a big boy, so he casts a big shadow, and then coordinate an offense for yourself and show everybody that was you. You can do it. It's not Andy Reid over your shoulder." The problem with that line of thinking is that didn't stop Matt Nagy, who was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, becoming the Bears head coach. That didn't stop Doug Peterson, who was the offensive coordinator from the Chiefs under Andy Reid, from becoming the Eagles head coach. So I think the opportunity lies in the fact that Ron Rivera is the most incompetent coach, I believe, currently in football.
To clarify, you said you would talk about quarterback next week. If you guys are eliminated today by what happens at 4 o'clock, is Sam Howell in consideration?
We can be eliminated.
Yeah, if the Packers beat the Vikings, then
sorry.
you guys are eliminated.
My man didn't even know the playoff scenarios for his own team. The head coach didn't know the playoff scenarios for his own team. And he is on the hottest seat in football. Now, I'll make a video explaining why I think he's the most overrated and incompetent coach of my generation. But I think suffice it to say, in his tenure there, they have not had a running record. Every other team has won a playoff game, except the Commanders during his tenure. And he is the only team in the division not to have figured out the quarterback position after multiple attempts. So I think if Snyder was not on the run from Congress and the sexual harassment suits and from the NFL, I think he probably would have fired Ron Rivera this year, and he probably would have fired him last year. But the sale is most likely to happen. And in the sale, the new owners are not going to have any ties to Ron Rivera. I wouldn't be shocked if they fire him outright. And if you fire him outright as soon as you get the team, it's going to be hard to pick a coach and do coaching interviews. All the best candidates are gone. Why not give it to Eric Bieniemy? Almost like a Freddie Kitchens situation with the Browns, where you had Hugh Jackson, who was there for a couple games, fired him, gave it to Freddie Kitchens, and Freddie Kitchens was the coach the following season. So I can see something like that happening. I could also see a similar situation, more similar in the path of Freddie Kitchens, where they let it play out for a game or two. They start slow, then they fire, and then they give him the keys. He's the obvious candidate to be the interim head coach. It's not going to be Jack. Where were you on January 6th, Del Rio? So, so I think that this is a blessing for him. And the new ownership. If you watch my video, I said that I think that Jay-Z and Bezos Group has the inside track on owning the team. I think that would be a great move by Jay-Z to, right a wrong in a situation where a lot of people think he should have at least had the opportunity. So I think this is a blessing in disguise for him, because I think this is going to give him a chance to be the interim head coach. Now, that did not work out well for my guy, Steve Wilkes in Carolina. Shout out to him. But again, I think the ownership group coming in is going to be more amenable, more reasonable, and more willing to give the opportunity to someone like Eric Bieniemy. All right, let me know what you think. The game is the game.